Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Beguiled by Books. Today, I'm going to share with you my 5 tips to help you read more books. Let's get started. Most people I talk to always say things like, I wish I could read more books, or how do you read so many books in a year? And first of all, it's nothing to do with how many books you can read in a single year or a month or a week. That doesn't really matter. As long as you're reading for fun and enjoyment, that is all that really matters at the end of the day. But if you do enjoy reading and you do want to be able to read more, there are some tips that you may or may not be doing that could help you get more reading time in throughout your days and your weeks and your months. My first tip for you to be able to read more books is to not try and use an e-reading app or read books on your phone or your iPad. Wherever you have distractions turned on, I don't recommend using that device. Now, you can absolutely use that device if you switch it over to airplane mode or you have a certain focus method that allows the apps in the background to not notify you while you're reading or listening to an audiobook through your device. But that distraction is the thing that gets most people. It's super easy to be reading on one of your devices and you see a little Instagram or a TikTok notification come in and you just think, oh, I'll go check that. And then you end up doom scrolling or happy scrolling for hours and hours on end when you could have wanted to be reading that time. So again, put it on airplane mode, create a focus mode so that you're not getting those background notifications. And that way you can use your device for reading and dedicated reading time, but definitely don't try and use that device while it's on and running in the background for reading, unless you have world-class discipline. And if you do, more power to you. My next tip for you to be able to read more books is always have a book on you, whether you've got a Kindle or some type of e-reader or a physical book with you, always carry a book. If you're waiting at the dentist or a doctor's appointment, you've got a book with you to be able to read. If you've got a book with you and you're at the airport, you want to stop at a coffee shop somewhere, you're waiting for a friend to show up to lunch, it keeps you entertained. It keeps you on track to be able to enjoy your books, and it keeps you from, being distracted in other ways that may be less helpful or less aligned with what you want to do and who you want to be. So again, if you've got an e-reader, if you've got a physical book that you can keep with you, if you're listening to an audiobook, keeping, a headphone in, something like that to be able to listen while you're waiting, that is always really wonderful and a great way to eke out some of those moments throughout the day that are otherwise downtime to be able to really enjoy your reading hobby in those moments. And the next tip I have for you, especially if you are an audiobook listener, is to have that audiobook on in the background while you are cleaning or working out or doing yard work. Audiobooks are a great way to be able to combine things that you need to do with things that you want to do. Audiobooks while you're knitting or you're cooking or something like that are another great way to use your time if you have the ability to pay attention to both things equally and not get distracted. I'm a terrible audiobook listener, so that does not work for me, but I know lots of people where that's absolutely a great way for them to be able to listen to the books, and especially while you're driving, if you can get some time in while you're driving to and from places, always a great way to get more books into your day. The next tip I have for reading more books is being able to read at meal times or breaks, as long as it doesn't affect your family time or, what you're supposed to be doing if it's a social engagement. So much time is spent just kind of us at our desks or alone at our dining tables, eating our lunches and taking those breaks. And again, instead of scrolling on your phone or working further, taking that time to be able to decompress, read a book, escape for a few minutes really helps you not only mentally recharge, but also helps you read more books throughout the day. And that is, again, what we're all about here. The last tip I have for you is to be able to create an environment where reading is encouraged. That might be making sure the TV is turned off by a certain time every night. The lights are set the way you like them. The room is set up the way you like. So you've got a special chair with a special lamp and a table for your coffee or your tea, whatever you are looking for to be able to read. Maybe it's reading before bed and going to bed early enough so that you can actually read before falling asleep. whatever that is, create that environment where you need to so that you can really get lost in the book that you're reading. Part of reading is that escapism, trying to really absorb what you're reading, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, it doesn't matter, but really being able to dig into it and have that block of uninterrupted time to enjoy the book that you're reading. So do what you can to create that environment. Always circumstances are going to be different for every person. Your life looks different, but whatever you can do, getting up early, going to bed earlier, taking time in the middle of the day when things are slower, create that environment where you can encourage reading, let others see you reading so that they can mimic that as well and develop that in your social circles and your families. Just embrace that as part of your hobby so that you're able to read more books and, of course, truly enjoy them. It's all about enjoyment. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. And don't do it for the number. Don't do it for a quota or a goal. Just enjoy the books that you've got. If you have more tips for reading more books, I would love to hear them. The community would love to hear them. Please drop a comment below and share. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.